everybody. Welcome back to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper. Today, I'm sitting down with actor and singer Trevor Jackson, who plays Aaron, a.k.a. Woke Bae, on Grownish. Season 3 is premiering on January 16th, so he's here to talk about what's to come and some of his music. Welcome, Trevor Jackson.
Thank you. What's going on, guys? What's going on? So glad it's not freezing in New York. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, it's still cold, but I guess it's not freezing.
Not freezing.
Well, why are you wearing a coat then, inside?
Because I like to be warm. Okay. Warm.
You kind of giggled when I said Woke Bae. Do you like that nickname that fans have given Aaron?
Yeah, I think it's awesome, man. Everybody likes to be smart.
True. I do love Aaron, too. He brings in so much important aspect, like important conversations. And
he is the less pretty Yara Shahidi on the show. You know what I'm saying? In real life. What she is to people in real life, that's who he is on the show.
That's true. He really is down for the cause and trying to make things better for the community. I appreciate Aaron. We'll dig into his character a little more, but we got to start with the love triangle between Aaron and Luca and Zoey. What are your just feelings on that, like as a fan of the show?
My feelings as a fan of the show, but also just living life and going through things, it's understandable. You know, I think it takes experience. It takes sometimes multiple encounters with people that you have feelings for to know how to express those feelings, to know how to deal with yourself, and to understand other people's growth as well. You know, a lot of times we can be very hurt because it's almost like selfish the way you feel about something. Oh, they make me feel like this. They make me happy. And you forget that someone needs to maybe go through a certain amount of experiences to be that person that you see in them. So I've learned that lesson.
Say that's really beautiful, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks. No, that just comes with growth. It just comes with life, and it's like with anything, whether you're making music or you're on screen, you learn, oh, maybe when I make this choice and I watch that back, it wasn't the same. So it's progression, man. But I do, I mean, it hurts just because I do play Aaron. When he gets played, it hurts a little bit. But no, it's fun, man. It's fun seeing the girl's perspective as well. You know, a lot of times, again, you might be texting a girl and be like, why is she taking hours to respond? It's because her and 8 of her friends are trying to figure out what to say to you. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that is just a little insight on, you know, to the other side of it, which is cool.
But we did leave, you know, season 2 with her kissing him and then just getting on the plane and dipping out for an entire summer.
What type of thing is that?
Right? So how is he feeling season 3 when Zoey's concerned?
I can't really say exactly what goes down, but I can say that it is addressed for sure. But I'm really excited about Aaron's growth in season 3. It's his last year. He's really becoming a man, having to deal with real life situations, student loans, and the topics that we're talking about, toxic masculinity, and which I think is important to talk about. And yeah, so many what Grownish does, you know, talk about the things most people are afraid to talk about and open up that conversation so that we can all grow as a unit. Yeah.
Take me through why it was important for them to talk about student loan debt, because it is such a huge issue for so many people. And I saw a clip of an upcoming episode where he has like $100,000 in debt. Yeah,
it's insane. I mean, I didn't go to college, but I can only imagine, you know, what type of setup.
Crippling.
Yeah, what type of setup is that? Like, you're saying I have to do this to get a job, but also I can't make money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's a little backwards, but I think it's just good and informative, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And
you mentioned toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
How do we see that sort of manifest?
Just in terms of, you know, what are the requirements or the society's requirements to be a man? What is the expectation of being a man? And, you know, me growing up all over, you know, I was on Broadway, you know, I was traveling and just meeting a whole a bunch of different type of people. I was able to find my own thing, but some people, you know, it could be their dad, it could be people in their life forcing them to be maybe one way or only accepting them if they're one way. And I just, you got to be comfortable in your own skin, and that's what I think represents a man, is someone who can stand and, you know, on his own and be able to be confident in that.
That's a male issue, but I think specifically it's interesting and important to talk about it in communities of color, especially Black men.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity.
It's like
one of the last bastions.
Can't even say like you love you to somebody else without someone being like weird. It's like, yo, we're all here together. Like, I love you, you know. Yeah. And I feel like, especially, you know, sometimes in the industry, it's hard for us to like big up each other. Like, hey, great job, because they feel like, oh, it's a battle, and it's really not. It's about togetherness, which is why I love Grownish again.
Do you feel that, like, you felt that, like, people
Have I felt that before?
Yeah,
like,
just that toxic nature.
Especially, like, some people that I might have looked up to or whatever, just was expecting, like, some, hey, man, keep the, and it's just like that. And I'm like, what? I loved you. You're the reason I'm here. Now I'm coming to destroy you. No, I'm joking. Just kidding. Just kidding.
The mental health conversation has also been a pretty consistent part of Aaron's storyline.
I love that.
Through the big event to raise awareness. And one of my favorite episodes was him and all the other Black students just having like a town forum, just talking about their feelings.
Yeah.
And that's such an impactful episode.
Talking. Yeah. I always keep saying that because I think it's so important. We go through all of these things, and until you open your mouth, you think that you're going through it alone, and you're trying to deal with all these issues. But that's why, I mean, it would have just been one person on earth if that's how it was supposed to be, but we're here to be able to help each other. Iron sharpens iron is one of my favorite quotes, but yeah, I think one of my favorite things that I was informed about was the athletic aspect. You know, some athletes, how much money they're willing to spend for an athlete on their physical therapy, on all of these things to make sure that their bodies are right to play and not get paid for all the people that are coming to pay to see them. And then when it comes to their, mind, it's like, oh, that's second. Yeah. That comes last, or that doesn't come at all. So that was a super, super enlightening moment for me when I was reading the script and just kind of like, dang, like this really is wild.
And it's so true. I went to a big university, a big football school, and that is where the effort and the focus is, and that's where the dollars go.
Those, they only got to do good in class. Hey, as long as you're playing good out there, you're doing good? All right.
You're good.
You want some coffee? You want a pancake? Hey, I just made some breakfast.
You want some new shoes?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, bet. Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's like 3 counselors in an entire campus, like 20,000 students.
It's wild.
You're like, what's happening?
And like I said, I always say the realest information, the truest information is never on the front page of the magazine. It's always in some like small article. You got to really dissect and find that out because they're not gonna, not gonna make that relevant.
There are so many shows that people can choose from right now. There's so many streaming services. What does it mean for you to be on a show that has a voice, that really sort of pushes through and has difficult conversations that I think maybe other shows stay away from because they may be too politicized or too controversial or whatever?
It means everything. It also is an inspiration for me, to do more, to want to do more, to just be more educated and inform myself on certain things. But yeah, that's all you can ask for when you're doing any type of creative thing. You want to be a part of history. Excuse me, that was the pancakes and coffee. I'm joking. But yeah, no, to be a part of history, you want to be in the conversation, and like I said, having those conversations that matter, that we try and hide from, You
guys also have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I laugh out loud so much. You eat a lot?
That's the problem. I'm sorry, I'm telling you guys my issues. I eat a lot of food.
Let's talk about it.
I eat a lot of food.
That's not an issue.
There's just food everywhere, guys. You have no idea. On set, they just keep bringing out little snacks, hot dogs, chicken fingers, Pop-Tarts, and I just can't stop.
Wait, what's your Pop-Tart flavor?
Oh, well, there's 2. I'm going to give you top is the purple and like turquoise one with the little line on there.
Ah, it's too sweet.
Okay, that one, and then strawberries right
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
With the frosting.
But I take off the corners and the top. I don't like the bread part.
So you just want the sweet part.
I just need the sweet.
Just the icing
cream,
on the sugar.
Cream, yeah.
What else? I mean, what else do they give you in craft services? It sounds like a good.
Well, Chloe and Hallie, they do a lot of vegan stuff, which I am deathly afraid of. I'm just like, how did they make it look like that and taste like that?
But it still tastes good, though. That's the thing.
I've had, you know what? I did have a plant-based chicken nugget with some barbecue sauce. Wasn't bad. Okay. Which was scaring me. Yeah. How is this a plant, but it tastes like chicken?
Have you tried some of those Impossible burgers?
I have not.
They're impossibly good, guys.
She said that before. But yeah, but also, again, why I think the show is so dope is because I think we all really, really love to entertain. Yeah. We love to create. That's why we're all doing other things outside of Grownish. Like our bodies just can't help it but to want to do more and just tell our story again. But yeah, everybody's so talented. They're not bad to look at. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the thing I noticed. I was like, there are so many multi-hyphenates on this cast. I mean, so many of you are acting and doing legit music. You have Diggy, you have Chloe and Hallie. Yeah. What is it like being on a set with other musicians? And like, do you guys vibe? Do you make music together?
It's amazing. Yeah, me and Diggy work all the time.
He was on your last album.
Yeah, he was on my last album. 2 records on my last album. But also, sometimes we'll just write together, you know what I'm saying? Just to make records, because we'll be on set all day. I'll be like, yo, what you doing after work? Nothing. Come over. And he comes over, we just record. But me and him go way back. We did a tour when I was like 16 or 17 called the Who Else But Us tour. So for him to come back and him be like a series regular is awesome. Yeah.
And you also have Ryan Destiny coming on this season.
Yes.
So does Aaron get to interact with her at all?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
That was nice and vague. I was looking for like the tiniest spoiler, but you really sidestepped it, and
Poker
good for
face, poker face. Sure.
Let's talk about your music a little bit. You know,
Let's do it.
You mentioned writing with Diggy and being on set, and what inspires you right now when you're writing your music?
Life experience. A lot of times it's like it'll be the next day about something that happened to me the day before, or maybe it could be a story that someone told me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? She did that? Wait, that's crazy. Keep going, keep going. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just real life. I think music has saved me so many times. You know, life, again, can be frustrating at times. It can be depressing. It can be sad. It can be happy. And instead of bottling those emotions up on the inside, I'm able to release that into the music and then move on. And then some of the hardest times in my life, when I made music about it, now when I listen to it, I'm the happiest I've been, because I'm like, you came from that, and that was a beautiful thing. And there's people who may have not gone through that yet that could hear it and feel a little bit better about it. So music has definitely saved me in that sense. But yeah, when I make music, I do the melody first, and I go back and write it, and yeah, just trying to feel good.
Do you have to like create a space to write? Are you somebody that has like a ritual, or can you really just like at any place?
Any place, but typically, like I said, when I record, it's just freestyle melody, find out the melody I love, and sometimes it can happen like that, or sometimes it'll be like a day or two, and I just live with the melody, and I'm like, you know, because sometimes you can overcrowd it, maybe put too many words, you know, may not put enough words, so just whatever feels right, you know, you get there.
And you write a lot of love songs.
Yeah, I love love.
Why?
Who doesn't love love?
But love is also so tough, man.
It is, but anything worth having is tough.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
so
Anything
beautiful,
that you really
right?
want is gonna be hard to, yeah, you're not gonna get it the first round. That's why my albums are called rough drafts, because it's not the perfect thing. And I remember I was so hard on myself when I was like 16, 17 years old to like get it right. And I'm like, yo, everybody has to do a rough draft. We all gotta, you know, forget our punctuation or not capitalize a certain letter. And then you go back, you see your mistakes, you go back, you edit it, and you go to the bat one more time. But yeah, music is something else for me, for sure.
So you released Rough Draft Part 2 last year.
Yes, just released the last video off that. Tell You the Truth, which is a real story.
Like that.
A guy, I was in the studio, and he was going in about this girl. Oh my gosh, she's so bad. Blah blah blah. I was like, awesome, man. It's great, dude. Awesome. I'd love to meet her. He's like, oh, she's coming right now. I was like, cool. She comes to the door, and she's like, oh my God, Trevor. And I was like, and then he looked at me, and he was like, ah. I was like, yeah. So it was a real story, and then I just kind of, you know, obviously added on a bit for creative, cinematic purposes. But even in the way I shot the video, I just kind of got sick of. That's why I direct my own videos, because I get sick of the same. When I was letting other people do it, it'd be the same thing. Here's the treatment. Trevor, he's on the mountaintop. There's girls next to him, and then we got LED lights, and smoke comes up behind him, and I'm just like, I've just seen it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just do my own version of what I do. And any song I write, I always kind of see it while I'm writing it. And I think that just makes the message kind of clearer, you know, instead of being distracted by smoke and half-naked women in my videos.
How much does your acting career then, like being on, you know, Superfly set, stuff like big films, influence your directing, your music videos?
It helps so much. And just the amount of movies that I watch. People don't know every day I have to watch like at least 2 movies. You know what I'm saying? Just and the reason I do it is it could be even a movie that's not my favorite, but I may find something I like. And I think the most important thing is know what you don't like when you're creating. People are like, how do you do it? And I'm like, if you can watch something back and not be biased and be like, I don't like that, then you fix it. You know? So any movie that I've watched and maybe I didn't like a certain part, I'm like, why didn't I like it? Was it the lighting? Was it the acting? Was it the angle? So how do I fix that? You know what I'm saying?
Does that inspire you to ever like direct a feature?
Oh, I do. Definitely want to direct a feature.
For real?
I want to write too, but writing, I'm so hard on myself when it comes to creative things that I would like have to go away into like a hut somewhere for like 3 months and like write until it was right. You know what I'm saying? So I got to wait for that. Can't take 3 months out of my schedule right now. But
are there any directors that you've really sort of you appreciate their work or their process or their style?
Christopher Nolan. Yeah. I love Christopher Nolan. I mean, there's legends, Martin Scorsese, obviously. But I just saw 1917, and it was like, because, you know, I saw the awards before I saw the movie, and then I was like, that's why he won for Best Director. It was just, it's kind of crazy the way he did it. A lot of it was like one-shot stuff. Just like, how? Like, I know there's, like, some tricks, but still, like, to plan it out and, like, the extras. I heard that he, like, auditioned every extra, which he's like, I've never done this. So he's like, 500 extras. I auditioned all of them or something like that. It was wild.
I love how inspired you are when you talk about film.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were, like, a film buff like that.
I love it. I love it, man. And it's my dad's fault. When I was growing up, his closet all around, like the walls built up to the top was like VHSs, 3 movies each on each VHS. And I would just be like sneaking in there. Y'all ain't in my closet. No. Trying to take a movie out. Yeah, that's why I love Superfly. I was obsessed with Blade. I was obsessed with Matrix. And I was like, man, I've always wanted to like do martial arts in a movie with a long leather jacket on. Got to do it.
So I know you started in theater as a kid, but it seems like movies were also a part of your life from early on too. So you just really always wanted to be
in my life, like everybody that knows me, I'm always saying a line from a movie. What's that movie from? What's that line from? You know? And I kind of relate myself. I always kind of know who I am based off movies that I'm watching. Who am I in this? Who do I relate to most? And it just kind of gives me more information about myself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like that in a slight way where, especially living in New York City, I'm constantly in my own movie in my head.
Yeah.
Like when you're walking down the street and you have the right song on and you're like, I am.
Hey, I was
like, is somebody filming this?
Last night, I was walking from a hotel, I think, to just a bodega to get something to drink or whatever. And I had boots on and just the click-clack, and I was like, by myself, wind was blowing. Definitely had a song. I think the song was Cold as Ice by Foreigner, playing right in the back. You know?
It's amazing.
You guys don't know what that looked like. I was like, Foreigner? Check it out.
On
check
Spotify.
It out. It's pretty good. Pretty good song.
It's amazing how much a space or a city or an environment can inspire you.
Yeah.
Is there a certain place that inspires you either musically or just in your acting?
The beach.
The beach.
I surf often, and that's kind of like my place to unplug. And again, I think social media, as amazing as it is, can be hindering to your perception of real life. And so I like to really unplug and think about my own thoughts and not be influenced or directed toward the thought. So I go out on the ocean, I'm surfing for about 5 hours and just talking to myself, and I feel like that's the one time I can, see myself, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the time to clear it out and build again, you know what I'm saying?
Clear it out, plan ahead.
Yeah.
Did you come up with resolutions for 2020?
Absolutely.
What you think you want to accomplish this year?
Absolutely. I want to be healthier, I want to work out for real this time. I've said that every year, but I think I'm serious this time.
Okay, wait, I gotta pause. You don't work out?
No, surfing is the workout.
I'm just sorry. I've seen your Instagram, and I'm like, I wouldn't work out either.
But so then imagine if I did work out, it could be really cool.
You're trying to get in a superhero movie or something.
Maybe, Kevin Feige, come on, help me out here.
What would be an ideal project for you, though? Like, you thought about it? Like
any movie with Denzel, any movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, any of the legends that I've like really just looked up to. And also just a movie maybe that I, want to produce, because I'm actually producing a few films. Can't talk about them too much, but yeah, just wanting to create and tell it my way. Again, I think that film is like a painting. It's like artistry. You get to edit it the way you want. You get to do it the way you want. The way you view the world is how the world gets to see, your movie. Yeah.
That's why I always like talking to you. I actually feel like inspired to pursue creative endeavors.
Do it.
You seem to be somebody who you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that.
You have to do it.
Right?
Or you're going to die soon. Sorry, it's the truth. We're all dying right now. So it's like, let's do it. Let's not think about it. And that's how I feel about, again, 2020 is like, you can't keep saying, man, well, all right, I will next. I'm almost done with that. I'm about to be finished with that. Right. I feel like one day I'll get there, but it's like, do it now. And then build off that. Then you're 2 steps ahead than you would have been if you were trying to do it all later down the line. So I say do it while you're here. There's nothing stopping you but you.
Because you're all going to die soon.
We're all going to die soon.
We have a couple questions. The first one comes from Twitter. Miss Kevin504 asks, will you go on tour this year? If so, will you stop in New Orleans?
I will go on tour this year, and because of this right here, I will make sure I stop in New Orleans.
You see, guys, all you got to do is ask.
Just ask,
You can manifest things instantly here.
Okay, fun fact. I just found out recently, because I get along with a lot of people from New Orleans, right? And I was like, man, just the vibe. But when I went down there, I just kind of like felt something in the air. Like, it just felt like good. And I found out my dad's great-grandmother, my great-grandmother, is from New Orleans. She lived to 92. And then my mom, who was adopted, just found her real parents, and they're from New Orleans. Yeah, weird. Weird.
No, but that's what, like, you get tied to places, like, generationally.
That's what I'm saying. You could be, like, trying to hate on somebody. It might be your cousin or something. That's why I'm like, why can't you just love people, man?
That's why that 23andMe stuff is hilarious.
Wild.
Because, like, people who are racist and then they're, like, 15% black. And you're like, welcome to the club.
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
Who has the first question?
Hello. Ooh,
Hey.
walked up. I love your shirt.
Thank you. So you're relatively young, but you have a lot under your name. So if you could relive any moment in your life, what would it be?
That is a great, great question. I think when I go home with my family, I only see my family like once a year for like Christmas and New Year's, but me being in the room with everybody that I've loved and everybody that made me who I am and just celebrating life, those are moments I wish I could replay for sure. Yes, thank you.
Did you just do that over the holidays?
I did.
Oh, so nice, right?
Such a good time.
You're
And
from,
then now I'm the old guy. It's horrible. There's like, all my cousins have kids. Uncle Trevor. I'm like, man, I'm that guy now at the barbecue. I'm like having a beer. They're all like playing around on the trip. I'm like, hey, stop running and sit down. I'm like, damn, I'm getting old. But it's awesome, man. And they all, those are the next people, and I've got to make sure I do it right. You know what I'm saying? For them, they look up to me. My niece Rashai is always singing my song. I know all your songs, Uncle Trevor. Singing it. I was like, it's the coolest thing, man.
That is the coolest.
Yeah.
Also, when you get older in the family, you don't get as many presents.
No.
Like,
I mean, but the present is seeing them. I don't
yeah,
know
okay, cool. But I'm just saying.
I get it.
I would also like a gift. I'm just giving out gifts
Hey,
now.
my gifts. I bought myself a surfboard for Christmas and New Year's, and that's all I need.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
Who's got the next one right there?
Hello.
Hi. So there's usually people who go through a lot of stuff and are struggling. So my question is, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling or in need?
I say pray. That's what I do. But other than that, I'd say you got to find the source of the problem, and could it be something that you were directly involved in that's making you struggle? Like, is it something that you were doing that maybe you had no idea about, or maybe it's a person that's in your life that you're allowing to be in your life that's making you struggle, or certain things like that. But I always say, if you have breath in your body, you're meant to do something. You know what I'm saying? There's so many instances, so many cars you've been in, so many planes you've been in, so many times you've been walking and you didn't die. I hate to be so morbid, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? People die every day. So the fact that you were here, it means that you have a mission and you have something that you're intended to do. So I say focus on those things. And I say sometimes what helps is taking the attention from yourself onto someone else. Instead of, being like, oh, man, this just be like, you see somebody else, like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Give them a hug. Hey, how you doing today? Every room I go in, I try and, you just never know somebody's situation. And that's why I remember I was, when I was younger, again, I met someone that I looked up to, and it just wasn't that. And it just had such a huge effect on me. And I was like, you just never know what you can mean to somebody. And that goes on any scale of life. You could be an entertainer, you could be a doctor, you could just go to school, and somebody that the whole year you didn't know, they just watch you every day. It's like, she's so cute, she's so cool, I want to be like her. You know what I'm saying? And just one time be like, hey, girl, what's up? You having a good day? She's like, she talked to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You just don't know. So I think that sometimes it helps with the soul. It kind of feeds the soul and gives you that sense of, purpose and affirmation that you're where you're supposed to be at.
That's a cool part about Grownish too is, we obviously know what's going on with Zoey, but we really get a look inside of the lives of each of these characters and their struggles. And you really realize the facade people put up is obviously different than what's going on internally.
Always.
And I love exploring that, especially at this time in people's lives.
Yeah.
There's so much going on internally.
Yeah, I think 23 has absolutely been the most change that I've ever gone through. And it's crazy because I always say, I feel so old, but I'm only 23. But it's this has been the most transformation and things that I'm just realizing the things that you thought were so real and so life or death are now different things, and those things may not matter as much. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Wait for 29. Wait for it. That's when you're like, who am I? Where am I?
Why am I?
Why am I? Who is this? We have one more question right there.
Season 3 comes out in 2 days. How do you feel your character as Aaron has evolved throughout the seasons?
I think he's gotten more mature, and again, I think that comes with real life situations falling on your lap and you just having to deal with them. So many people, again, may try and complain, but it's we all go through it. You have to do it. You have to deal with it. And again, the only person in the way is you. So again, him talking about these new issues. The episodes are dope. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking back at it. It's almost like a test when I shoot. It's after the test I forget everything I did. You know what I'm saying? But we've got some good stuff coming for sure.
Well, that's what we've come to expect from this show. I love that it is so much fun, but then we can also have conversations about appropriation and mental health and unplanned pregnancies, which seems to be coming up in the season.
Yeah,
so you really get to like have some discourse.
And I think it's the best thing about the show is it's never pointing the finger at either side of any conversation. It's just presenting it out, laying it out on the table, and that's what, again, the audience is open to discuss and have that conversation. Which, is great.
Well, you did a good job. You didn't give us any spoilers. So kudos. And that means that we need to watch the show.
Please watch Garnish.
And it hits Freeform on January 16th. So make sure you check it out and put your hands together for Trevor Jackson.
Thank you guys so much.